people come to my channel with crap like this. Danny O'Neill commented, everyone that believes this is as retarded as this nigger. You see why Gentiles be in the predicament that they in? It's like it's uncalled for. You know what I mean? It's unnecessary, it's uncalled for, and it's just simply stupid that you come and say some stupid shit like that. But since they fearful, they want to pay you back because you scared them with the video. Don't watch the goddamn video. And you see why I curse? Because you can't reason with these animals. You cannot reason with them. And they are fucking animals. This is only an animal think like this. And then Paul go do. And these are all fake accounts and bullshit like that. And they just come to harass the truth. And that's all. You know, they feel like if I didn't personally spot Nibiru, then it don't exist. But I've been showing you footage of Nibiru a hell of a lot. I mean, it's undeniable. Go back and look at all the videos. You'll see too much footage of it. But just because you didn't spot it today, you know, as if I control the motherfucker, now you're not credible. And then I have the right to say nigger. Now, you have no fucking right to say that, and you wouldn't say it to my fucking face, you know, without some fucking repercussions, boy. You know, and then whites will never go and admonish their own kind. They just tell you to brush it off your shoulder. We supposed to sit there and take that goddamn racism. We supposed to take all your fucking hate and abuse. And that is what we are talking about when we talk about that we are oppressed, we are enslaved, we were stolen from our country, our people, our forefathers. We don't even know what our home looked like. And you guys have no goddamn understanding of what y'all do. You know, and what y'all still do. That's why God is coming back to save his people to, you know, from you. All your damn oppression that you don't understand that you're doing, or maybe you do understand it, and you just highly don't give a fuck like I think. And that's why I talk to you the way that I talk to you. And I ain't saying everybody. There's some people on here I'll be kind to. If you come and say hi, rap, you know, what's going on, and I'll speak right back to you and be nice. Because basically, I'll give you what you want to put out. But if you want to come here like this Danny fucking fake ass O'Neill and say nigger, you know, 10 times out of 10 is probably Hispanic, you know, hate his own brown self, and so he want to take it out on, well, I'm not as brown as you probably, but he want to take it out on people of color, you know. And then Paul Godu commented, so wondering if the dumbasses saw the great mythical joke Nibiru, so this is a mockery, and they want to come and belittle it and make light of it, so that, you know, people will go back to, and these are Satans and devils that I keep trying to say that we deal with on a daily basis. So people come to the channel and say, my God, you cuss so much. Now you see why, huh? My God, you do this, you do that. Well, you shouldn't go to their level. What should you do with these bastards? If a motherfucker pull a goddamn gun out on you and he's shooting, we don't go to that level? No, we have to go to that level to save our own goddamn life. Why when they put a loaded gun out of their goddamn mouth, we gotta sit there and just take their fucking abuse? If someone's sitting hollering in your goddamn ear every motherfucking day, you wouldn't sit there and take it. After a while, you're gonna jump the fuck up and snap on their goddamn asses. And you can't deal with goddamn devils and beasts because they're gonna keep coming like this. And so I made a video saying, you know, apologizing to the righteous believers that's on my channel that just want to come get the truth. But damn, we at war, people, with these goddamn idiots like this, you know. And Nibiru was spotted, and I'm glad so many eyes was to the sky today. It was spotted, I didn't spot it, but everybody else did, you know. Every other motherfucker spotted it, you know. And that's why I'm glad so many eyes was on the sky today. And so people didn't even know what they were looking at. They never look up to the sky. So they was claiming it was so many different things, you know. The last one may have been Nibiru moon, who knows? But you know, it's there, and they freak out when they see stuff that, when you just look up in the sky, you can see it if you want to, you know. And a lot of people think like these jackasses right here. And I believe these people right here, these beasts right here, they know it exists, and it's probably your government downplaying it and things like that. And so we're going to get into the videos about, you know, the people who spotted it. And I wanted to put a hell of a lot more, but it would take me so long to make the video. So I just put pretty much the first 8 or 9 people that, you know, was on YouTube uploading a video. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hell of a lot more tomorrow, you know, because people didn't sit there and edit their video or upload it, or they think they got some gold and they trying to hold on to it. You know, the smart people get it out quick. So here we go. Watch this.
Holy shit. I told you you'd be able to see it in the sky. See it right there to the right hand side of the sun. It's not moving. It's not a damn lens flare. Oh my god. That one on the top right hand is a lens flare, but the one about 5 o'clock on the sun's not. Oh dear god.
The flying saucer, right? Oh, look, the flying saucer's going after the jet now, guys.
Here. Oh, there they are. You see, they're on my. I got them on camera. What the fuck are those?
There's 3.
Oh my god. They're disappearing. Holy shit. Oh, I wish my camera would zoom in farther. Oh my god. Holy shit. I've never seen anything like this.
Oh my God, so early. I don't understand this. It's 1:30 here in Cincinnati, and this is supposed to happen at 2:30. What is going on? Where's the moon? There is no moon in the sky today at all. There hasn't been a moon at all. Oh my God, what is it doing? I don't know what it just did. What is the glowy thing? What is that? It's not a lens flare. NASA, you guys are such liars. Look at it shifting and tweaking. They don't know what to do. There's no moon up there. That's not the moon. That's something else. Time check, 1:58.
Hi everyone, this is Nibiru Watcher. It is October 14th, 2016, and I'm going to show you an old video that I had made revealing the cloaking system over Australia using time-lapse, and clearly you can see these ring systems. And now, I just want you to show you this first before I show you what I just captured this morning, or 9:30 at night in Australia. Okay, so you see these rings, this lens system that cloaks our planets by changing the focal point of this light. And, okay, so let's get into it. So here, some pretty breathtaking videos. This is over in Jandakote Airport. I hope I pronounced that right. It is the northwest facing camera. It is 10:27 at night. The sun has long set 4 hours ago. So what are we about to look at? Yeah. Well, I'll try and take my time with this one. So it's a cloudy, foggy day on this airport. This appears to be a light source, some kind of probably to light up the airport for the pilots here. So let's go back in time and see the progression. Yeah. Well, there we go, folks. I believe what we're looking at here is the nemesis star that appears on the horizon and then gets eclipsed as its 4 rotating bodies and their rotating bodies in this entire orbiting system. So let's zoom in on each one of these. First of all, what the heck is that, right? It looks like a death ray coming from this planet. Well, keep in mind, this is a projection looking through a lens system, like I just showed you. So everything's going to look translucent and holographic in nature. You can see things through it. But let's keep going. We go back in time here. I'll take my time with each one, exposing this lens system here. That's a projection of the planet itself. And sometimes it's a projection, or is it an out of focus planet? How about that one? Is that what they're hiding? Well, let's keep going back. And now we can see a much better view of this lensing system that pulls it out of focus so you can't hide it. If you haven't seen that before, please go back and watch my cloaking planet video and how easily this is done. It's not actually that high tech. So again, I want to look at this thing. These are lenses that are merely bending light. And I gotta ask myself, what is this round thing? Looks like some kind of magnetic distortion. And let's keep going back in time. It appears for a second, and now, again, we're going back in time. So this object, keep going back, appears and disappears. Okay, so here we go. Should even show you the whole time loop here. Suddenly appears and then gets eclipsed and then reappears again. And look at this. I gotta zoom in on that. So it kind of looks like the same thing, but the actual planet. This here, I believe, is what is eclipsing the Nemesis star. As Nemesis is coming in on our ecliptic, very hard to catch anything that's coming in on an ecliptic plane. And as we keep going back in time, we can see again, look at that. Now that should be looks like the excuse me, the plasma-like fingers you would expect that this thing is. I've heard reports of people seeing the moon and the squiggly lines, but this looks like the plasma shadow. Again, these are all projections from the lens system now. It is now eclipsed this planet. So we can keep going back in time. This eclipse there is probably the best shot I've ever seen. So we go back in the entire time loop here. Just hang with me on a second here. Okay, so here, 1026, we get this intense beam of light. Is that a plasma discharge between the planets? Very well could be. Maybe that's what's lighting this whole thing up. And why does it only appear? And by the way, that was a very brief shot. Look at that thing. 1027. 10:26. So very short burst, and it's gone. That was less than a minute. If you want to do your own time lapse, I strongly suggest when you use Stream Recorder, hit the refresh button about every 10 seconds for the best videos. Because if you use theirs refreshes every 112 seconds or 115, something like that. Oh, whoops, let me go back here. Now it's a cloudy day here, so of course we're going to see the clouds intermittently. And again, let me zoom in on this shot. Well, let's look at a straight view of the Nemesis star itself through the lens system. And it appears to be plasma reacting on this thing. Kind of what we saw in my Thunderbolt project. Not my project, but the Thunderbolt project. Where we saw those spider-like fingers and the wheels that we've seen on all the artwork. And let me see. Let's see. I'll get back to that in a second, explaining what the ancient people saw. What we can't see here. Oh, here we go. Did you see that? Look at the advancing. Look how the plasma moves along this planet. Now, we're not looking at the planet, we're looking at the lens, but we're watching the projection like a movie. So, and the fog is the backdrop it lands on, so we get to see this. So sometimes the chemtrail fires back in their face because we wouldn't see it, but since it acts like a nice backdrop, one day they're going to project aliens on this thing one day, very soon. Let's, you see how that, wow, how it moves upon that. Amazing to just brush over. This is, I want to take my time with this one. And again, we can see the translucent lenses here, or the lenses that produce translucent images of our planet. And again, I gotta zoom in on that thing. Kind of looks like a sun to me, don't you think? I mean, what else is that thing? Yeah, I'm sure the trolls are going to have very imaginative minds. Try and come up with this one. And look how it gets eclipsed. And look how bright that is. And again, all happening within a single minute. The stuff is moving, and it moved quick. You would have missed it. It probably would have been almost a flash in the sky. This whole event happened in a matter of minutes. So here we can see. Just look at that. I mean, doesn't it look like plasma reacting? Right here from this hot spot. Huh. What is this, our out of focus planet over here? See how it moves? Spots in the lens? Yeah. I want to waste my time arguing that one. Okay, so I think we played this one pretty good. I would like to show you something else and explain another phenomenon we're seeing in our skies recently. And that is... okay, so I captured this just barely a week ago in Southern California. And here we have what the government would like to say this is a normal sundog. But I totally reject that. See this intense bright dot here? Let me pause right there. So what happened here was we had a beautiful sunny day, but only as the sun set, they started chemtrailing this cloud, which allowed a backdrop here. And I would expect this thing to get brighter and brighter as the sun, what happened? Okay, so you got the lens system here and a focal point. As the sun passed through this point and passed through the lens, it created a focal point, and it looked like it was almost burning a spot in the chemtrail cloud. When they do this, because they'd be seeing a projection of a planet, it's better. Looks better to look like a lens flare or something than a projection of a planet. So by spraying this, you're not going to see that holographic planet look, which look basically translucent Let's see if I can pull up another example over on webcam in Mexico and see this little flare here. That's basically the same thing that would remain a sky. That would have been your sundog, which is really a focal point of this lensing system. So next I want to show you an article that I read in the paper about plasma beams. So let me see if I'll find that. Okay, so here's a news article from the HawaiianNewsNow.com website. Ancient petroglyphs discovered on Hawaiian shoreline. Now check this out. A pair of visitors, now this was published on August 8th, 2016. Okay, so when it happened was right about that date. Now this is pretty amazing because a couple from Fort Worth, Texas was walking down the beach and they found several Hawaiian petroglyphs to be more than 1,000 years old. Well, that was kind of scrubbed. The original story was they saw a beam of light. And they walked to the beam of light and they looked down and they saw this. Okay, so this is your sanitized version. Yeah, notice they didn't even talk about the beam of light on this one here, okay? But this is the sanitized version of Fox News. Now, this is sandstone that they saw on the beach. Look at these. That's your plasma art. What I find interesting here that this is in sandstone. It looked like someone made it with their fingers and it was in sand. So could the plasma have killed the people that drew the art and hardened it into sandstone? That's pretty amazing. I mentioned in this article that there's no mention of the beam of light in this one. But I'll continue watching this whole video. So there's the clips. There's your plasma art. Okay, now I'm going to show you the original version here. Now, here's the original article that didn't get sanitized by Fox News. Countless tourists have been watching beautiful sunsets, but many have made. Let me zoom this in. Lonnie Watson and Mark Lever, a visitor from Texas, discovered petroglyphs believed to be 400 years old to stroll along. For some reason, there was a beam of light, just a beam, Watson says, per the State Department of Land Natural Resources. It landed right on one of them, and for some reason, it turned my head and ended up finding 10 of the images carved into sandstone, stretching over 600 feet of the beach, researchers have found. Notice Fox News leaved out the beam of light. Isn't that interesting? So, now I got to speculate that here we go again. Nibiru is in its orbit, in its closest approach, and now we're getting beams of light again. So, they're here. We've got the beams of light. They're everywhere, and they just happen to land on this spot, which must be something in this beach that makes it very conductive. Maybe something deep underground that draws it underneath. Some ancient technology, who knows? But that's incredible that we have a history is basically about to repeat itself. So that's interesting how Fox News left out. Well, oh yeah, it talks about Fox News here, but it left out beam of light leads couple for centuries old art in Hawaii. Well, what would have fossilized that into place? I mean, looks like someone drew that with their fingertips. Why would it suddenly harden? I mean, if it's on a beach and then it hardens. Everyone, this is Nibiru Watcher. It is November 28, 2016. And today I would like to talk about the ancient sites from around the world and its possible connection to Nibiru, our visitor that comes to see us every 3,600 years. So here's a website that's done a really good job cataloging all these ancient sites. It makes a perfect circle around the world. And I'm not going to name every one, well, all of them, but these little dots, are these ancient sites, connecting them perfectly around the world. It has some really amazing ones, starting with Giza, and I'm not even trying to pronounce the rest of them. But you will see that Giza sits right smack on the center of this giant circle, and some of them are a little further away, but many of them are right on top of it. And what you get is this. As we look down, the center of this, we could see that this center here, our North Pole, the true north, the magnetic north, and then if you look at the pretty close to the center of it, it almost pretty much lands near Mount McKinley, where Barack Obama was. So is this going to be the new pole? And is this going to be the next equator for the next couple of days or years or whatever? Is this the equator that everybody that worships the sun god, and at many of these sites, including the Giza, all have the same theme? In China, the pyramids of Egypt looking like setting up the Orion's belt. In Mexico, the pyramids there, the Orion's belt. The pyramids of Egypt, all looking like the Orion's belt. What's with the Orion's belt? Let's look a little further into that. Well, here we get more of it. As a matter of fact, a couple surprising ones here. Look at this. The World Trade Center. Yeah, the Orion's belt. What's that all about? Well, you should read some more into this stuff. It's pretty interesting with this Orion's belt, but I believe that's where the system came from, is the Orion's belt. Zachariah Sitchin, the proof that I'm going to show you in our planets and their alignments. Here's a website, skymap.org. And here you can type in your coordinates and you will get the planet X, the winged planet. Here's another view. If you type it into the observatory at skyview.org, and you get it there also. And you will even pick it up on Google Earth, the same coordinates. My, doesn't that look like... Well, let me show you the Orion's belt real quick. Now this sits below the Orion's belt, and we can see, we'll type in Orion. And there we go. Okay, this is Orion on Google Sky. And we can see that it's funny that this always looks like those sun dogs, these ones here. So that was the point I wanted to show you. I'll leave all this information in the description box. Some of it's all old information, but the strong tie to the whole Orion thing, okay? And even here on this German web camera that made me a believer on 2015 July, I'm going to run this video real quick, and you're going to see what made me a believer in Planet Nibiru. Now, you know what? I just grazed over that too quick. But by the way, this is the moon. And what are these two objects? Okay? You need to ask yourself. And then, look at these planets lining up. There's 3 of them. This one forms into Nibiru, the red-winged planet with 2 plasma wings. There you go. It's still available, apparently, but I clicked on the link, and it just waits and waits and waits. So it's suspicious that it may be gone now. Now, when I had my channel before I lost it, I was watching these 3 planets lining up on the pyramids of Egypt, on these live cameras. I saw the shadow here, here, and here. Of course, this one didn't line up because it was a fast-moving planet. These dark, shadowy objects were holding very steady. Some would say there were spots on the lens. If you remember what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I left the time lapse on, and the shadow showed up on this 3rd pyramid. And the video that I had are the pyramids of Egypt a giant doomsday clock, if you remember that. But now they've been offline. Look at this. Right here. Here's another kite. Last picture they posted here, Giza, 113 days ago. It's been offline, and they will probably stay offline. I hope someone can go down there and actually capture this magic alignment. I really wish I would have saved that video. That was pretty stunning. But look, the cameras are offline. I'll leave a link in the description. Go ahead and check it out. And now I want to show you some more alignments that are coming very soon. Okay, so here is a solar system scope. And now, this is our actual time. This is where we're at with the planet Earth right now. But how many of you ever wondered why the Earth tilts away from the sun, the furthest from the sun, the top of the Earth tilts the furthest from the sun on December 21st? Well, lo and behold, people, that always seems to line up the time that Earth is in front of the Orion's belt. Look at that. So, and what would that day be? Is this the time clock that we see? Look at the dates here. But something more interesting, if we zoom back out, we've got another alignment. For those that are following the Certain Hadron Collider and what it has ties with all this, excuse me, let me put this back. Another thing that's going to line up, let me scroll the time for it here, is the sun, earth, moon that Anthony Patchett talked about, and he's all over the CERN Hadron Collider. Well, he doesn't believe in nibiru, which is too bad. But right about this time that we're going to get the sun and earth all going to line up about on the 12th. Look at this. See how close I can get this alignment going. So when I grab one of these planets, let me see if I can do it this way. Pull this in alignment here. There. That's December 11th, December 12th. Still in the constellation here. And we also have another interesting alignment here with the Earth and Neptune lined up now within the constellation Aquarius over here. So let's look at this. So this planet here with its one moon, the water planet named after our water god in the Aquarius constellation. And you're like, what do you mean by all this water stuff? Well, in the book of Moses or Noah, on the 17th day, the word God flooded the earth in a giant cataclysm. And was this a marker for that day? Because we have the Pisces fish and the Aquarius water system and the Neptune god all in alignment. There was even an Illuminati video that came out that sounded very ominous, and it's really hard to find this video. I don't want to get flagged for trying to show it, but it even showed the Earth being unplugged and two wiggly lines for Neptune being, I believe, was a time marker showing the time of the event. So what are they trying to tell us? It didn't sound good. Next thing I want to show you, see this planet over here called Ceres, that when this system came in, it came in at us. Let me tilt this thing forward. That's planet Ceres at its highest elliptic point from at the sun, at its highest point, is basically at a right angle from the Orion system. So I propose to you as further evidence that this Ceres planet here is a third of the remains of the original size of this planet. And the orbit of Ceres is also known as the asteroid belt. So what hit this thing and came from this, smashed up through this direction, and then crosses the Earth's ecliptic plane? That would be this little line right here, this Earth's ecliptic plane, and then returning back to the Orion's belt every 360 years. See that? There's the Orion's belt. And another thing, that Pluto here was an ancient planet, ancient moon of, let me get this straightened out for you here. Okay, so see the Orion belt here, and this is Pluto. More further evidence that when this thing comes in, that Pluto, its furthest orbit is in the direction of the Orion's belt. Let me show you. Here's the sun, here's Pluto. We could pull this thing around, and look, it's closer here. And it was theorized that this was an ancient moon of Neptune. We got pulled out of its orbit. And that's why they call it the 12th planet, because we had all these other planets that came and went. What happened? So, in case any speculation here, you can do this yourself. Download the solar system scope and look at this thing. You just drag these planets around, and you can see why this planet in its furthest orbit is in the direction of, see? Furthest direction in the direction of the Orion star system. Why is that? Why is the Earth tilted right in the direction of the Orion star system? So I made this video a long time ago. It had a lot of requests. I hope I didn't go too fast. I know it's going to leave a lot of questions. I'll try to answer them, but I'm very busy. And, okay, so back to this thing. This, now some scientists will say that this is a normal result of a normal 13,000-year wobble. Okay, I'm not saying the Earth isn't wobbling. It's in a slight wobble, normally. Yeah, lately it's an insane wobble. But what I'm saying, that for a temporary amount of time, 3 years, when this thing shifts, this thing pulls down the Earth in the direction of the Orion's belt. All this ancient cities will line up perfectly, being a temporary new equator. And the reason why I say this is bunk, that if someone says this is a normal 13,000-year wobble cycle in the that is just ridiculous, because what do you see wrong with that picture? Okay, so if this was a steady 13,000-year wobble, then none of these sites would ever really line up. The whole thing would just wobble back and forth. This pole would steadily move around. Yeah, it's any wobble, small wobble, but there is something about this cycle that all this will line up and be a temporary new equator, that all the pyramids of Egypt and all the Orion constellation will be in alignment of be right underneath the sun. So all the sun worshiping stuff will be right underneath the sun. And look at, if you just look at, even the city of Atlantis lines up. It's pretty amazing stuff here. When you find this links here, New York City, it's some pretty amazing stuff here on this site. You can really spend a lot of time. Maybe you can see the ancient sites all line up, make a pentagram. Great. We could see a lot of stuff here. But I just wanted to touch on that topic, that we get I'm just going to cruise through this. Look at this. I find this very interesting too, because here we have a cutaway view of the rock of the Earth, and we have Giza, the Indus Valley, and 3 of these sites form the exact center. And if we bring this down, we're going to come right to the center of Easter Island. And doesn't this almost look like kind of like the Orion system anyways? I mean, there's 2 arms and the 2 legs and you know. But just another clue, something to think about. If you guys have any constructive comments to leave, please leave them in the box. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed day.